Gary, how are you?
Good.
Alex, here we're interviewing Gary Berry. He's the head coach for PSA Elite. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks.
Fantastic. Are you enjoying this Soccer Nation 2014 weekend?
It's a fantastic event.
Awesome. Awesome. I'll go and hand off the mic over to you for some of these questions.
Okay.
Some general soccer questions for the local Southern California scene here. What we're doing here is trying to see how can we make soccer better. It's probably the topic of the weekend, topic of the year. Now, what do you think of Soccer Nation overall? Have you seen the vendors, the booths, the games? Have you been around Soccer Nation this morning?
Yeah, this is my 6th year coming to Soccer Nation Expo, and it's a fantastic event. I've watched these events get bigger and bigger every year. The participation here is fantastic with futsal, with the vendors. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. Fantastic event.
Outstanding. That's awesome. On the so what do you think? Kind of like an oddball question here. We got World Cup 2014 in Brazil. Who do you think's going to win it?
I'm gonna hope USA.
There you go. Go USA. Right on. Cool deal. Now, what do you think are some of the challenges for coaches nowadays in soccer?
Well, I mean youth soccer and adult soccer, and for a soccer coach, it's really difficult to find kids that actually want to believe in the program and understand what's in it for them. We emphasize a lot of fun, but obviously that we want kids to evolve and get something from their participation and from their athletics and sport. So.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm sure you're very familiar with some of the youth programs in Southern California, where they're setting up quite a bit of a fall season, not so much of a spring season per se. But what do you think is, what's your opinion on the split seasons in most of Southern California, perhaps in the United States? What's your opinion of that?
I think it's good. I think it allows, at least between a break between the seasons, allows for kids to kind of get refreshed, refocus on their sport, on their teams, on their improvement and development.
Do you think that gives enough time for coaches, clubs, directors of coaching to provide really good training for their teams, for their players?
I do, because of how much soccer is involved, at least here in Southern California. I think that there is a lot of changing of the guard with players, which I think does affect teams' results and development overall. I think there could be a little bit more length and time for players to be committed to teams so that coaches can get the team development and player development a little bit higher.
Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense in that realm. Being that you coach several teams and you've been involved in youth soccer, adult soccer for quite some time. Now, what do you think is something missing, or perhaps what could make things better in soccer in general in America? What do you think could be done to make soccer better in America?
That's a difficult question. I think that right now there's a lot of people with ideas on how to improve soccer, and I think that if I have to answer that, it would be to actually get a little bit of conformity rather than so many different things. Kids, I think, are getting confused a little bit about how to get to that next level and how to reach their potential. So maybe a little bit of clarity for kids can help soccer.
Little bit of clarity. I would agree with that. In that, having said that, there's different levels of soccer. We got recreational soccer, competitive soccer, national elite soccer programs, ODP programs. There's so many different programs out there. What do you think is the environment in Southern California per se?
Not sure what you mean by environment.
What do you think is how is everything developing as far as do you see that the recreational programs are perhaps not so they don't offer a really good base for a recreational format, which would be a recreational as opposed to the competitive, where they just, sometimes overtrain. The environment of soccer in Southern California, what do you think you see as being that is going on in California?
Well, I see that there still is a lot of emphasis on fun, and that's why there's so many programs now. It's all based on enjoyment and participation of the sport. But I also think that there are some different pathways. I think the kids are getting involved at a younger age now. There's rec programs, there's club programs, there's ODP programs. It actually goes all the way up to adult league. So I think the environment is growing, and I think it's a good environment. Southern California really is developed.
So in that development that you're seeing, do you think that we're producing world-class players?
I think that we can be producing world-class players, and I think that goes back to my statement about clarity and understanding how to actually reach that potential. I think that there's kids that are involved in way too many sports to actually reach their potential. But yeah, I think we have the coaching, I think we have the training concepts, I think we have the environment to be producing world-class players.
Okay. With the I'm sure you're familiar with the many leagues in Southern California. Some of them are independent. Some of them are well known through a U.S. youth soccer organization such as Presidio Soccer League, Coast Soccer League, SEDSL, SoCal Premier. All these multiple leagues, do you think there's an opinion on that? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
You know, I don't have an opinion about it. I think the leagues I think they represent themselves well. I think they provide all good structures. They provide some different things and some emphasis on different things. But you know, I think that if kids are in a competitive league and the league is managing it properly, then I don't really have an opinion on if there's just one league or if there's multiple leagues.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now, I know that within leagues, the adult enjoys the opportunity of a 10-month season, a year-round season per se. And it's being suggested that the youth should enjoy something similar to that. What is your opinion on altogether, the underage all the way to over 35s, to have the continuity of a 10-month season?
I'm not sure what that magic number is. You know, as I said before, I think that having 2 seasons where there's a little bit of a break, but to allow kids to stay committed for the long part of the season, I think is a good thing. So yeah, I'm not sure what that magic time, but I think that anything that allows kids to stay committed in a longer term for coaches to get the best development out of players, I think is a good thing.
That makes sense. Now, in that type of development, so much emphasis in Southern California, I'm sure in many different sports, where specifically in soccer, there's a lot of organizations that they work extremely hard at developing youth soccer. And what do you think is missing with clubs, or why do you think clubs are not promoting an age bracket such as U18, U19 and promoting them into adult soccer? Why don't clubs have an adult program as well?
It's a very good question. I know with our group, with PSA Elite, it's one of the things we've talked about doing. I coach on the youth side too, and I think it's important to have some type of evolution, some stepping ground for kids to make that transition into adult soccer. So to be honest, I don't know why they don't have more adult teams with youth clubs.
Right, exactly. Now, those are things that I know that we're going to be looking into, perhaps assisting, getting a lot of ideas to try to promote that connectivity. It seems like it's almost like a missing link between the youth and the adult, and anything that we can do to help the format. But that said, I want to thank you for giving us the time. You're fantastic, and we hope to see your club, among others, to continue to grow. You've had a fantastic. It's going on how many years now with PSA Elite?
We are in our 8th season with Coast Soccer League right now.
Fantastic. 8, and how many more? Another 50 more to go?
Hopefully a lot.
Fantastic. Gary, it was a pleasure.
Thank you, Alex.